What is up, everybody? It is your boy Drift. I am back with Shinobi. We are here for the second episode of the podcast. Hopefully, you guys check out the last one. If not, go ahead and check it out. It'll be in the link in the description below. We ended up talking about games that are coming out in 2026 that we are excited for. We reviewed games in 2025, and we gave you guys a leak of what this episode was going to be about. But I'm going to go ahead and let my co host introduce himself.
What up, y'all? Shinobi radixan. Do YouTube, a little bit of music every now and then. Right now it's kind of on pause, but that's pretty much it.
Okay, that's also his links will be in the description below. Make sure you guys check them out. And we're gonna go ahead and hop in today's topics. Today's topics are going to be about a little challenge, I guess, is going on TikTok, or a little trend. I don't know if you guys have seen that thing where people are like, it's games who have shaped me, and they usually put like a picture of themselves or something, and then it's like a border of games on the border that makes a border of a picture frame of games that like kind of inspired you or shaped you into who you are, tell a story kind of. We started off with about like trying to get seven. I don't know if he got more than seven. I know I got more than seven. If you go over seven, it's okay. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the aspect of what game shaped us. And then after that, we're gonna go ahead and talk about something that's super controversial right now. And I guess that's like the hate game train or games dying fast and player bases and things like that next. But we're gonna go ahead and hop into the game list right now. Do you want to start this one this week, or do you want me to start again?
Go for it, because you say you went over, so I'm intrigued on
Okay.
like why you went over.
Yeah, so the reason I went over it before I started, I was like, first I was thinking about it, and I got to like five, and I was like,
Mm,
damn, now I gotta pick like two more, and then I picked two more, and then it's like, like those instances where like your phone hears you, kind of, and then like
yeah,
that's all you see. So I started talking about it with you, and then I mentioned it to my friend or my our friend Zerk, and then later that day I just go on TikTok, and then it's just like every other fucking video is like someone doing the same thing, or open TikTok and I see
yep,
this, and then I see a game that's like a core memory unlocked, and I'm like, damn. Or I see a game that made me think of another game, and I'm like, dude, I just can't forget this one now. Fuck. And I'm pretty sure when I'm
yeah,
doing
yeah,
this and
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about it right now, there's probably gonna be one more that I think about, and I'm gonna be like, shit. And then
Might
it
as well
was
just
just
throw
like,
it in there if you do
yeah.
remember.
And then there was one there was like someone there I was like, oh, I want to throw in there, but I don't know if it's like that deep. Like I really spent time in it. So I tried to put games in there that like I like sunk at least like a lot of hours into, or made a big part of my
Yeah,
gaming like career, I guess. But
yeah.
yeah, I'll go ahead and start my list now. I'm a little yappy, but I'll explain that for you. Obviously, the first one, I feel like everyone's gonna know this. I mean, this dude's the mascot of my channel. He's been in plenty of my artwork for my channels before, and that is easily like the whole Sly Cooper series. That's probably like my number one game of all time for me. It's what got me
Hell
like
yeah.
super into gaming. It wasn't the very first game I ever played, but it was like one of those things that like it just left its mark. Like once I played it, I was like, dude, like this game is it for me. Like I play it every so often. I even have like a little tradition that usually around Christmas time I always play like on Christmas Day usually. It's just something that I like to do.
Okay.
It's like a little ritual. I don't know. It's something that sticks with me.
Yeah.
But if I had to be like specific about which one I like the most, it'll probably be like the third one. So that's my first game. And then after that, I feel like this might be a game on both of our lists. But for me, it was Pokemon, and I have a couple of them specifically. Obviously, Diamond and Pearl because that was the first one that Lucario ever appeared in.
Hell
That's
yeah.
that's his first game. And then after that, it'll probably be like the X and Y series or Sun and Moon because Sun and Moon is probably like one of my favorite gens from the newer ones at least. And yeah, so that's the second game. And then the third game is another like trilogy, and that was the Assassin's Creed Ezio trilogy. Those were also like my first couple Assassin's
Ooh,
Creed
okay.
games. I really love the story mode, and on top of like the story mode, I feel like some people out here might know that Assassin's Creed had like a PvP scene. The multiplayer was actually fun. It was like unique, and it was one of a kind. So and it was low key too. Like it had a player base. People who played Assassin's Creed like hard kind of knew about it, but like for the
Mm,
general public, they weren't really like paying attention to like the multiplayer scene. But I had a fun multiplayer, and it was super unique. It was definitely like ahead of its time. Kind of reminded me of like a Hyperscape era type of thing, like where it was like way ahead of its time.
okay.
And then after that, this is technically the game that I have sunk the most time into. If you look at hours played, and it's so funny because I'm a late bloomer for it, but that'd be Destiny 2. I feel like our whole friend group went through a phase of all of us playing and like doing like raids and just playing the game and getting to learn the game was insane. And it was kind of like a thing when I first started playing it with our friend group. I probably cared the least about the game. Like I didn't really get on and know what was what, like understand anything. I kind of was just there for the ride. Like I kind of
For
just
sure.
put in the minimal effort. But then I always hear these stories about everyone that we know that like they've been playing D1 or Destiny 1 forever, and they have all these like war stories and like experience of how much like they cared about the game and grinded the game. And I don't think I fully understand that until like midway through Destiny 2 where I really fell in love with the game and then I was able to like know everything and like be able to do things on my own
Yeah.
and understand the game and want to grind, want to be the best looted character possible or get the best loot. So that is on my list. And then now for the next one, I feel like this is a game that obviously it was a big part of the community back in the day. It's very fun. It was Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare 2. I feel
Oh
like
hell yeah.
I don't know where this PvP game came from, but this was probably one of the funnest like non-serious PvP games that I've ever played. And the community for Plants vs Zombies was huge back then. It was one of my favorite games to play. It still is one of my favorite multiplayer games I play. Like that when Jinxie revived that game, I literally hopped on like that. I just could not miss the lobbies being full again. Like the game is just so fun.
Yeah. I always wanted to play that. I never got into it. And then like I don't know if it was like a sign or something, but now recently I don't know if like it's on your feed. It's probably gonna get on your feed now because flankers are listening. But
Yeah.
I've just been getting a whole bunch of like recommendeds of like specifically Plants vs Zombies 2 of like different challenges, like just ice plants, just fire plants, or like these weird like I don't know if you've seen it. I think it's called just fusion. Plants vs Zombies fusion, where you can fuse literally all the plants.
Oh, I haven't even seen. No, I haven't seen that fusion one. It might be like some sort of mod that people can play on
Yeah,
Garden
it's
Warfare
for
2.
sure a mod. But I've been getting a whole bunch. Garden Warfare was one of those that like I regret not just picking up and playing it, even though like not a lot of us did that.
Yeah, I definitely have games like that where like, it's like FOMO. Like I hate playing a game late, and then I feel the FOMO, and I'm like, damn, I wish I played this game like in its prime. I wonder what it was like.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the game's super fun. I think if you wanted to pick it up, it'd be super fun to try. If you can get it on console, I would get it on console. I mean, PC is fun, but it's kind of like ported like decently, and on PC it's kind of like filled
mm.
with cheaters a little bit because there's no like
Ah,
protection. Yeah.
yeah,
So if you can get it on console, I would get it on console. For anyone watching, I would get it on console. Unless you only have PC, then obviously get it on PC. But the next game on my list, I feel like I have a hate love relationship with this. This has been a part of my journey for content for a long time. Julio probably already knows what game is coming up. It's one of those games that I don't mean to brag, but I'm extremely good at, and I hate playing it sometimes, and it's hard because, like I said, it's a love hate relationship for me, but it's the biggest part of my content and why I've grown, and that is Madden. I didn't really have a specific one,
mm,
just the game itself. And like I said, that game, whether I hate it or love it, like I said, it's helped me grow, and I was able to have accumulated subscribers and channel growth through that game and build a small community, which I still love. And my subscribers have went up and down, which I don't do it for the subscribers at the end of the day, but that game has always been a part of my journey to start content and move the needle for me. So I just wanted to include that game because whether, like I said, I grind it or I don't play it, like I don't play it, but it's still something that I can pick up and play whenever, and I feel like it'll always be like a part of me, if that makes sense. I know it's a game, but like it'll always be like something that I can look back at and be like, well, I started my career here, and it got me, something.
for sure.
And the next one, I feel like this may be a game on your list. I don't know if it'll be this exact one or maybe just the series itself, but that is Horizon Zero Dawn. I feel like that was my first like adult money game, if that makes sense. And the reason I say that is because that was the first game where I was able to like, I don't know if you remember this, but like back in our day, like, you know, GameStop did like exclusive different like tiers of pre-orders, and usually like always the
Oh
highest
yeah,
pre-order
I
was
did
like,
that for the second one.
yeah, I did that for the first one, and back then at GameStop, like, this is what I miss about GameStop. Honestly, I miss this about like just old gaming era in general. Is when gaming companies used to do like exclusive consoles or exclusive collector's edition. Like I got the highest tier of the Horizon Zero Dawn collector's edition, and back then it was not just like a steel bookcase game. I mean, this game had I have a book full of art. I have a full ass like statue. It came in a custom box. I have the like still cover. I have the
Yeah,
soundtrack to the game. There was so much shit thrown into collector's boxes back then. People who have like old like collectible collector's edition games are like insane. And I think for us,
No, yeah,
this might be a core memory, but growing up, I remember people who played zombies, like YouTubers who did zombies and stuff like that. They remember when Black Ops 2 came out, like, yeah, I think it was Black Ops 2. There was that big ass like collector's care package, like the game came in a care
yep,
package, and then you got
yep,
like the mini fridge, which was like the upgrades from zombies, and you had like a replica ray gun, and it was just a big ass full care package in the Black Ops 2 colors for zombies, and it was super sick. It came with like the game, the soundtrack, you know, picture frames, like I said, the mini fridge, that kind of stuff growing up. I didn't have money to buy stuff like that all the time. So by the time I got older, Horizon was a game that I have watched the trailer for like it was my first game where I followed it the whole time. Like the trailer dropped like a year or two
for sure.
before, and
Yeah,
I was just super hyped. It was a game that was like circled on my calendar. Every video update of like this might be when it's releasing just got me more hyped. And then by the time I found them releasing, I was literally the person to get the one at my GameStop. So I'm telling a little lore story here, but the GameStop I went to, they only had one collector's edition at most GameStops, and the one I went to, like I was like the
mm.
only person to get it, and it was funny too because at GameStop you can still do this. You know, you could put five down or however much down, and then go back and finish paying
Yeah,
it off. So I had did that, and then I went back like I don't know, like a couple weeks later to finish paying it off, and an employee there, when he pulled up me paying it off, he literally looked at me, and he was like, "Dude." He's like, I've been asking who bought this because I was gonna get this, and he was like, "You're the only person that
dang,
got that." And
you
then
snuck it.
yeah, he was like, he wasn't like hating like in a mean way, but he was like, "Damn," he's like, "I really wanted this." He's
No,
like, and then
yeah,
we started talking about like the game, and it was funny too because like after that I paid it, and then he was like a little bit like, "Oh damn, I really wanted that." I went back to pick it up at midnight, and
yeah,
he literally came out of the back specifically when I got there. He's like, "Dude," he's like, "Would you mind like opening it here in the store?" And then we ended up opening everything in the store. So it was like a core memory unlock.
hell
Like
yeah.
people around me, everyone's hyped. We're opening it, and you don't really get that from GameStop no more. Like midnight releases like aren't a thing no more. So
No, yeah, that's the one thing that I miss. And like I've been thinking about it too. I was like, I mean, I'll be buying a lot of like digital now just because it's convenient. You know what I mean? Not because like I want to. It's just for the convenience sake. But I do want to start getting like physical copies now, even if it's just a base. I don't have to get like a collector's edition, but give me the base because that yeah, I remember a lot of Call of Duty like midnight releases were like the big ones for me just the massive lines. I don't think we've had any game since like that era that has had something like that. I think the only one was Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild, I did see a couple of videos of pretty decent sized lines waiting for that, but that's like so gone now, and it's so sad.
yeah, it is. It's just the way that that died. That was like an actual thing. But yeah, I don't know. It's also hard because like I feel like gaming, like you said, like getting physical copies is like not a thing anymore. I feel like digital kind of just took
Yeah,
over. It's like so convenient. It's just like ordering food. It's so convenient to like use Uber
to be
or
honest,
like
yeah.
something instead of going out to get the game. It kind of like ruins like games, like or buying games like that in general. And it's funny that
Hmm.
you mentioned that because like I also wanted to like collect more hard copies and stuff. I feel like before I started YouTube and before I started like doing gameplays or just like being interested in
Oh
gaming
man, yeah,
videos.
that's actually the same reason why I stopped doing physical. It's just more convenient. You know what I mean? Like you see somebody or see something on like the PSN store or on Steam, you're like, yeah, let me just cop that right now because I'll probably play it for the channel later.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And on top of that though, like before like I was like before that, I also there was a part of me like before I like was physically buying stuff for YouTube like that digitally, I was also intrigued before I made gaming videos to like do like I don't know if you've seen like back then, but like or I still think people still do it. But I was super intrigued in like having like a game collection before I did like Pokemon or comics or Funkos. My first
Yeah.
thing was like gaming thing. I wanted to have like consoles. I wanted to have different games. I kind of wanted to be like a dude that made videos on collecting like stuff, like and
Oh,
playing the
okay. Yeah,
games, and
yeah,
then
yeah.
having
I
like
see what you mean.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because for a while, like I was obsessed, like with finding. I had all my PS2 games, I had all my PS3 games, I had Xbox games, I had like all consoles. I wanted to like keep the consoles like displayed and stuff like that. I kind of gave up on it, but like that was me. That was my thing before like actually making like specific videos about like Madden or Call of Duty
Right.
or trying to be like a content creator like that. I was super into like collecting that, and at the time before YouTube was like super booming. Instagram was like only pictures. Like the only way you could like talk to people was like uploading pictures. So like back in our day, that was
Right.
like Twitter before Twitter. Like people did like
Yeah,
pages for like just like theme pages. People did like pages for like their clan, or people did like pages for like gaming. People did pages for collecting, and it was only like built through the community through pictures. So like that was like a thing. I wanted to be like a collector. I wanted to, just post pictures of like this is a game in my collection. I just picked up these. I just picked up that. Similar to what people do now for like Pokemon cards, pretty much, or like Funko Pops,
for sure.
but
Yeah,
for gaming. So that's really what I want to do. And it's so crazy to think that, like I said, like hard copies and gaming collectors like that are like now it's like if you see a gaming collector, he better be like stacked. Like his whole room better be games. He better have
oh
arcade
yeah,
machines. Like no one does it like casually anymore. It's kind of like other trading card things or other collecting things. It's just the casualty of having a small collection is not as popular to make videos on or be interested in. When you see people
yeah.
with like mega collections. But yeah. Now for my next game on this, I know we've been yapping in between. Now the next game is these ones are a little bit older. These are like more like childhood games. I didn't want to just put some modern games in there. I mean, some of them have been modern, some of them have been classics, but these are more classics. This one is also a. I couldn't pick a specific one. I tried to think about my very favorite one, and it was so hard because I even like the side games. But that is the
Yeah.
Jack and Dexter franchise. I loved all those games. I loved all the console ones. I even loved the PSP one that people weren't really like the hugest fan of because it kind of sucks that the very last game was ported to PSP. So now the only way you can play it is on PC. But yeah, I love those games. These next ones, I know that you also. I'm not sure you had this on the list, but I know you played these games. We also played the newest one at the same time. I played it off stream. You played it on your channel. I literally was watching you as I was playing, so we're kind of being the game around the same time. And that is the Ratchet and Clank franchise. We both
Hell
ended
yeah.
up playing Rift Apart, which is the modern remake, and that game was amazing. It looked beautiful on PS5. So that is another company on my list. And then the next one I feel like is a game that's like super niche that it's like a lore about me if you didn't know before like me before like YouTube and gaming anyways because I wasn't really like the heaviest gamer back then and that is Skate 3. I was super into
Hell yeah.
skateboarding. I skated. I was like super into like going to like Street League and watching it on X Games and super it was like my sport before football. Like skating was that for me. I watched tournaments. I watched certain specific skaters for certain brands. I was into skating. All my friends skated, so that's like what I did back then. So Skate 3, I obviously invested like a shit ton of time in. That community was one of the first like communities that were like super fun. Like I feel like you don't play a lot of games where like modders are nice, but that game is like the
Yeah.
modders were like nice. They created like they weren't like terrorists to the community. They were like actually building like sick ass maps. They made
Yeah.
custom boards. They did like trolly shit, not like shit that like irritates you as a gamer or bothers you, but like shit that helps the community. And modding in that game was super fun. So it was like a specific time in the gaming era that was super fun. Now my next one, I feel like this is something like all of our homies probably have on their list, and that is my favorite Call of Duty. For me, my first Call of Duty was Modern Warfare 3. That was the one I loved the most. Unpopular opinion, a lot of people are going to be like in the Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2 era. Me, it's
Mm.
Modern Warfare 3. I just feel like there is no better pub stomping game than that game. I feel like you don't really have a game where like you get the excitement for going for a Moab. To a Black Ops 2, obviously,
Yeah.
like nukes are cool, but I just don't feel like nukes hit the same way as the Moab. The Moab was just I don't know the aesthetic of the game, the gold guns that popped out on like these dusty, like building destroyed destruction maps. The gold gun just looked beautiful in that game. To me, it's the best looking gold gun that we've ever got in Call of Duty. And like I said, going from Moabs was probably like one of the funnest things to do. And also, I don't know if you played Modern Warfare 3 like this or not, but like I can't think of another game that has this game mode. But they had Face Off, which was like 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, but it was like on like
Okay.
super miniature maps, like even smaller than Nuketown. So, and that game mode was like a side quest game mode that was like super fun that I just have core memories of playing with like my family or my brothers or friends. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's that going. And then this is my very last one. I don't want to make my list extremely long. I know it's already been long. And as we're talking about it, I actually haven't remembered another one. Not yet, at least. But the last one is Gotham City Imposters. I'm a huge Batman fan,
Hmm.
and this game was like super ahead of its time. I don't know if you know about this one, but like
Yeah.
that's the one we dressed up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Vague memories.
yeah,
Yeah.
you dress up. It was like casual, like fans dressing up as like either Jokers or Batmans, and it was like a Call of Duty arena shooter with like goofy ass like it's like a hero shooter before a hero shooter. Like you had like a tankier class, you had like
Yeah. I would
smaller.
almost say like Plants vs Zombies, like kind of goofy
Yeah,
characters.
it honestly reminds me of like Team Fortress 2. Like that's how goofy.
Yeah,
Like Team
yeah, I see
Fortress
that.
2 art style, goofy ass classes. Like you had like a guy with like a bow and roller skates. You know, you had like a more tankier dude with like a shotgun. You had like a bulkier dude that was like a regular AR, and then you had like the mobile dudes that can like sprint a little faster with SMGs, and it was like super goofy. You had people dressed up as like Batman with like cardboard boxes with bat little
Yeah,
like hoods on,
yeah,
and it just looked super goofy, dude. Like, and the game was so funny. Like, and it was like one of the first games that had like mobility in a way to where like every character had a zip line, so you kind of like
yeah.
shoot the zip line anywhere and like move kind of faster on the map or go to high ground, shoot down, like hook down and pull yourself down to the ground fast. It was super vertical. It was not the first like flat-footed shooter. It kind of honestly makes me think of like Call of Duty getting like the idea to like a jetpack game working, if that makes sense. I'm not saying that's probably the reason why jetpack games work, but like because we have Halo,
Yeah.
obviously. But like I feel like that's really like a game that innovated other games to just make these crazy gaming ideas. Like when I see that game and then I watch a game like I don't even know a good example. Like the finals, kind of like the finals is out game right now. I feel like that
Mm.
game is like what Gotham City Imposters could be like if it released today. Like that's kind of like the motive. Like from
Yeah,
the
I would
finals
say
is
so. Yeah.
is very niche. Like it's kind of a mixture of like a crazy movement game, Battlefield, and super animated Team Fortress 2. Like when you die in that game, you fucking blow up in the coins. Like it's super
Yeah.
goofy, super niche, and I feel like that's what Gotham City Imposters would have been if it came out today. But yeah, those are the games that shaped me. I couldn't really think of any more. There was some that I wanted to put on the list, but I feel like I didn't sink enough time into. Like I almost thought about like putting Elden Ring, like we talked about last episode. That was both of our first Souls-like games, and that was a game that
Mm.
like when it came out, like for like I think a month straight, I didn't play nothing. Like I just came home from work or whenever I had time, and I just sunk hours in Elden Ring. But it wasn't a
Hell
game
yeah.
for me to want to put like on my list. And then another one that was super close, but I feel like was um not a game. I guess I wanted to put on my list was Battlefront 2, like Star Wars. Those are like probably the two that I missed out on.
Yeah, yeah.
I wanted to, but I just feel like I don't know. I don't have the same like nostalgic enjoyment as other people. Like I like the game, and it would be sick if it was still like playable. But like I don't have it like I'm not like one of the people that want to like sign like a fucking waiver to get it like reformed. Like if it comes back, it wouldn't bother me. If it stayed dead, it wouldn't bother me. So I didn't want to put that on my list. But
For
yeah,
sure.
let's go ahead and hop into yours. I don't know how much you have. Like you said, I'm guessing you have less because you wanted me to go first, and you said you were intrigued. So let's hear what you have.
Yeah, because like for the people that don't know, like aside from the fact that I'm quite literally a dinosaur on the internet, I'm a dinosaur with the internet. So I'm not on like any like social media except for YouTube. I know I used to plug the Twitter, but that was just like I don't know. I feel like I should plug something else aside from the channel, right? So I didn't know that this was a thing. And when he said 7 games that shaped me, I think I took it like a little bit too like deep, and I was like, okay, what games really like got me to this point instead of more like nostalgia stuff. So mine, it's kind of in a list from like the beginning to now. The
Yeah,
last three is more of just like my all-time like if I had to just pick like three that would kind of explain me, the, those three would be the one. But starting off, it it might be cheating, but it's just like Namco games, like the old school ones. I'm talking like Galaga, Rally X, Pole Position, Mappy, Sky Kid, and especially Mrs. Pac-Man. I don't know how old y'all are. I'm not that old, but those were like games that like my family played back then. This is when like you can just pick up a game and like anybody was a gamer. Like there was no really like gatekeeping or anything. It was just like grab the game, have some fun. And I think those games I really like them because it's like the objective is pretty just like flat out. It's right there. Finish the level, collect whatever, move on to the next one. You know what I mean? But every stage was different. It either like evolved, like changed the form, or if it like if y'all ever I'm pretty sure everybody's played at least one of the Pac-Man games. But
yeah,
like
yeah,
they'll then recycle and instead of like it's a completely different level, it like speeds up. Or like the big pellets that make the ghost go blue, like the time shortens. You know what I mean? So I like that because it makes you kind of adapt as you play the game more frequently than like you would like nowadays with games nowadays. So those just off of good memories and kind of setting the stepping stone to like my first intro to gaming, I'd like there was no way that I couldn't put them on the list. Fast forward to like I guess like the beginnings of YouTube's. It was kind of like that like halfway point to where like it was almost peak. Never Ending Nightmares. It's not a game I've ever played. I've only seen Jack play it, Jacksepticeye, but I had to put it on there because I think that series really made me want to get into YouTube just to like have something for people to kind of just like disconnect. If y'all have never seen that series or have never played the game, the guy that made the game, I think was going through the depression or had overcome depression, and he wanted to make a game that kind of gave you an inside view of what it kind of felt like for him. It's really trippy. It's 2D, black and white. It's a really good game. But in the beginning, when like Jack was doing the first episode, he was like, "Yo, I don't care if you just have this in the background. Just like, no, I'm here for you, and like we're just, here doing this together, kind of thing." So it was really like just a comforting thing to have in the background. And I think ever since then, now I don't feel bad of just like having something in the background playing, like if it's just a YouTube or just a VOD or something, because it's I don't know that just like carried over, and it's like okay, I kind of want to do that too for people, kind of just like be there, even if you just want somebody there. It doesn't have to be like I'm like having a one-on-one conversation. Just the presence of somebody, just have the voice of somebody there, would be enough to get you through. Because I mean, life be life, and man, things be coming up, and sometimes you just want to de-stress. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. And I guess kind of tying into that like community like sense, Journey. It's one of those games too that I think was like really slept on. It was, I think, for the PS3, if I'm remembering right. Maybe it was for the PS4. But when I played it, and I think I still have the Let's Play on the channel. I didn't know that it automatically links you with somebody random also playing the game, but in the
The
same
fuck?
exact
Really?
like yeah. Okay, so this is what happened. So I had played it, and then I had no idea what it was. I just really liked the art style and stuff, and then the soundtrack too was cool. So I hopped on, and then you get to a point where it's like this like desert area, and then somebody looking like you comes up to you, and then you kind of just like interact with each other. So I was just mashing like the interaction button to like make noises to see
Yeah.
if they would like react to it, and they would. So I was like, okay, this is probably like an NPC kind of thing. And then I just played it just one sitting because it's not that long. I think it's like 4-ish hours.
Okay.
And by the end of it, I got a random ass message from some dude was like, "Yo, that was probably the best experience I've ever had playing this game." I was like, "Hello? How do you know that?" And then how do you know like I was playing this shit too? And he was like, "Oh, what? It connects you with somebody random. I'm from Egypt." I was like, "Yo, that's insane." Like,
Yeah, that's crazy,
and the
honestly.
game, yeah, and the game doesn't tell you that. So it's such a like genuine interaction of just being with somebody random and going through this like literal journey together and getting through the puzzles and stuff. It was a really like surreal experience. If you have time, pick it up, play it. I highly recommend it. And then if you have already played it, probably go back again, man. It's probably gonna be a different feel every time you play it because of that. So that just blew my mind, and like the sense of community. Just with somebody random, you guys can just get in sync just like that, and then go through the different puzzles and stuff and help each other. The next one, it's not more so of like a really big impact in like my life and like with games, but I feel like I had to mention it because it was the first video I think that I had put in the most work. I had to not necessarily do a script, but like actually plan out, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, this is how I'm gonna edit it and everything. And that game is Animal Crossing New Horizons. Specifically the video for the Billionaire video, like messing with the stock market. That one, I think, like recording wise, was actually like the toughest one. And it was kind of
Um,
like, in my mind, was like, okay, let me make kind of a movie esque feel to it and start from like the way beginning and then go to the end, have the story, have the plot, and have it all set up like that. If y'all haven't watched it, or y'all don't know anything about Animal Crossing, they have a thing called the stock market, and not like actual stocks, but with turnips. And it'll vary, right? You know, you can buy for low and sell for high, just like that. But you can end up getting certain patterns where you can then recognize, oh, this is gonna tank within the next couple days. Let me sell it now to either not lose as much money or get a decent profit. And then of course there's some where it's just like it's gonna tank no matter what. There's other times where there's like a big uh, kind of like a what's it called, like a short. I think it's just called the short, where the price just explodes and then you can just make a shit ton of money.
okay.
But
Yeah, I get what
it
you're
was
saying.
the first. Yeah, yeah. But it was the first video that was like a bigger production is probably the best way to put it. And all the feedback from it was just like, "Yo, this is amazing. Like you're, getting a new sub, whatever, or like keep this kind of stuff up." So it inspired me to do that, and I guess it kind of worked with the hiatus that I ended up doing. Um, the hiatus had nothing to do with like that. It was just like the laptop shit out, and it's like, okay, well, I gotta get my bag up first, and then I can get back to it. But it
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
worked out because it kind of just like reset and was like, okay, maybe I can do these kind of videos not as often as just like a regular Let's Play, but I know the style that I like editing it in. Let me start doing that now because I know people also like that too. So it's a win-win. Um, and it kind of inspired the Suicide Squad Let's Play, where like the intro was like a recap, and then the outro was like, oh, this is what's coming in the next episode, kind of thing. Because I do like that nostalgia feel. It kind of reminded me, and I think I used the same audio for like the Dragon Ball episodes where they would always do the recap in the beginning and then get you like a little sneak peek at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It felt
That
like Sunday morning cartoons for sure.
exactly, and that's the exact feel that I wanted to like have it and like want videos now to have, and that came from the inspiration of the that specific video. So that's definitely one that I had to mention, not just out of like nostalgia or like I played it a lot or anything, but starting to shape like what I wanted the channel to be. You know what I mean? So that those were in order from like beginning to now. These top three, it's like these are like the bread and butter ones. So should I go? Yeah, we'll start with this one, DJ Hero. It wasn't my first ever rhythm game. My first one was Guitar Hero, and much love to Guitar Hero. That was fun, but it was something about DJ Hero where it was so different than just like, okay, let me pick up this, guitar, or if you had like Rock Band, let me pick up this drum set and then play this instrument. I had never like been in front of like a any kind of like DJ set. So for me to like experience that and the game pretty much just like handicap you, you know what I mean, to like get some bangers out, it was such a different experience. And I to this day I'll dust off the PS3 and then I'll go back and play it. I wish they had kept on making not just DJ Hero games, but like more Guitar Hero games, more Rock Bands and stuff. Because this was also during the time where like I really started to get into music, and it started becoming like food and water for me. So it just the impact of that was it was inevitable. Uh, I don't know if anybody's ever played DJ Hero. I feel like it's a very niche one because, like I said, Rock Band and Guitar Hero, you're used to those instruments, right? But DJ Hero was something like way different, and I miss that game so much. I miss that series. I miss rhythm games like that, just like in general. I know there's still some that are out there, and I do play Colorful Stage, but it's just like mobile games, you know what I mean? And then they do have the arcade stuff too. If you guys have a round one near you, there's got to be at least like two or three different ones, two or three different like Japanese rhythm games that are out there. That it's cool tech, but I don't know. It doesn't hit the same as like picking up like a controller that's shaped like a guitar or shaped like a DJ set and then going crazy on it. Especially if you're somebody that actually plays the instruments too. Some people be going crazy on that. But that's definitely like in the top three.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
then, yeah. And then this one, quite literally, I would not be here if it wasn't for this game, which is Black Ops 2. And what I mean by that is this is how I met Miggy. And Miggy from then introduced me to like everybody else here. So that's what I mean by like I would not be here. Quite literally, it's because of that. That and then this is the time where like Vanos, 407, Nogla, all these KYR Speedy, all these YouTubers uh, that just exploded. I feel like within like the next day of then uploading a video, doing like the ninja diffuses, the like chucking the I think there were like sensor grenades or something, calling them like Pokeball kills or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was just like a time. Like BO2, I feel like was a gold mine for any kind of content creator that was in the Call of Duty scene back then. Like that game solely fed I don't know how many generations, but that also inspired us to do YouTube. Little bit of lore here. I feel like I've talked about it too. The time that you guys interviewed me, when we first started, it was called Reverse Gaming, and it was kind of like a community kind
Channel.
of
Yeah,
channel.
yeah.
Yeah. So it wasn't just like me like doing let's plays or whatever. It was just funny moments, and then I was the one editing, and then Artsy, which we might or might not have coming up pretty soon in an episode. But Artsy would also do the editing for that too, and the thumbnails, and it was just about like having fun and just it was just so natural to just record you guys doing stupid shit and then putting it up on the internet. It just it felt good. We just didn't keep up with it because it was just honestly it was just timing. Because during that time I was going out of high school, going into college, so just like a lot of different changes. So I just ended up losing time, and then it was also pretty hard getting everybody on, and then
Yeah.
being like, yo, at least for like an hour or 2 hours, let's try to get, some footage. And sometimes, man, and this is also why I kind of just stopped doing like the funny moments and stuff. Sometimes you can record for like 6 hours. You're only going to get like a 15-second clip. And those
Yeah, I feel
were
that.
like the tougher, yeah, those were the tougher days. Those were the days where it's like, why are we even doing this bullshit? Like, this is not worth it. But I mean, yeah, we're young, we're stupid. I feel like if we did keep up with it, we would be in a pretty good space. Because, like I said, BO2, I feel like just fed families. That and then
Yeah.
zombies. That's when I really got into zombies. Black Ops Zombies was cool, but BO2 it was different. The Easter eggs were hidden different. It felt like a much more communal thing than from the first one. So just BO2 all around. Good memories and kind of just planting the seeds of where I am today.
Yeah, that game has a lot of
My
influence on like a lot of people, honestly.
yeah, like even if you don't watch Vanos or Nogla or KYRSPD, you know the names, and it's probably because they got all that from that era, and that's why they're like chilling now.
Yeah, and I like I agree with you. I feel like there's like a wide variety of things to do. Like it was a gold mine in the sense to where like you had like content creating teams, you had like competitors, you had trick shotters, you had like feeders,
Yeah,
snipers. I mean, you had like people who did like search and destroy videos, like you said, and then you diffuse, and then on top of that, like not content stuff, there was like the most creative like mini games like possible in that game. Like you had like Michael Myers was really popular. Like people made videos playing
oh
Michael
yeah, the
Myers.
custom games,
Yeah,
yeah,
people played like that one game mode where like everyone was like a runner and then there's two snipers and they're trying to stop you from like making it to like a certain side and you have to run like a certain
yeah,
route. There was like that game mode. I mean, you had We Are Knifers, which was like a community clan where people like submitted clips of them going for crazy clips just using like throwing knives and or tomahawks and ballistic knives. Like that was a
yeah,
whole ass community like where they uploaded like top 5 clips of the week. Like it was a community clan. They had like um, for someone who competed, they had like a lot of tournaments that were free, and it was just a whole different experience, a whole different era. I mean, you had like Instagram pages, Twitter pages ran these free tournaments, cash prizes. Like you had like basketball league, like rec leagues, kind of, but like in Call of Duty, like every week you had
yeah,
your team got put in a division. You had websites like Clan Wars, where like you would get like you could just beat 16 homies signing up to play another 16 homies in a ground war game, and it was all organized to a website. Like you had like game
yeah.
battles. It was crazy. Like that era of time, like you said, was just a complete gold mine. And I feel like that's like one of the things that like kind of almost connected everyone. It's kind of like Pokemon Go vibes. Like it just brought the world together.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like at that time a lot of like younger kids were starting to get to that age where like the parents were like, okay, I guess you can start playing Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
that just like helped out a ton because you also started getting like all the kids like us getting inspired and be like, oh, we want to do that, and then I mean all these like little channels and stuff. Yeah, and since you mentioned it, BO2 for me that's like my all-time COD game. It
Yeah.
wasn't my first one. My first one was Black Ops, but BO2 just for like what it ended up doing. That's my all time. And then my last one. This should be no surprise because this is the first LP that I ever did. Not just on like the Shinobi Radixan channel, but I've had like two or three other channels before, like my solo ones where I started to like try and build, and it was always the same game. But the whole series, the Kingdom Hearts series, that is like my all-time, my magnum opus. Like I don't give a shit what you think about the series. It's the best series of all time. It's just so good, and I think it's so like creative. First of all, the fact that Disney okayed it, insane. The fact that it's so like there's so many life lessons in it that for it to be a kid game is ridiculous. Like first playing it when I was little, it's like a lot of the stuff just goes over your head. But when you start playing it again as you get older, you're like, damn, there's a lot of deep shit in here. Like this is telling you about like the tough times in life and like how to go through it and like always see like the good and stuff. It's just all around like just lesson wise and the messages that it's trying to portray or like inform y'all of. 10 out of 10. The gameplay, now I get it. This is where definitely like the nostalgia glasses kind of just like overshadow some stuff because some of the games it's like yeah, and for anybody that's followed the series, the top one is probably gonna be Chain of Memories for everybody. I don't know if you played it or for those that
I have not yet.
have never played it. Yeah, yeah. So the cards, I I see the vision. I saw the vision and I get it, but it didn't hit for me. And especially as a kid, because I would just mash the triangle button to combo everything, and then by I don't know, like 30 seconds into the match, I got like one card left, and my reload time is like 2 hours. It just
Jesus.
that was just ass. But aside from that one specific game, I do like that every game it's evolved like from like the past ones. At least talking about the main like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, 3. There's a whole bunch of side ones. For me to sit here and explain the like the story and all that, it's like a whole video. I say, look it up because
It's deep. Yeah.
yeah, it's deep, and then the games aren't released in like the actual like timeline order. Kind of how like Star Wars when it first drops is like in the middle of everything, and then as it goes on, then you get like the pre like trilogy or whatever they call it, right? Kingdom Hearts is kind of like that where they'll drop like the main one and then they'll drop a side one, and it's like it's either between the first one and the second one, or it could be like during the first one, but like on a separate like perspective. It's a lot going on. It's kind of like Zelda actually, where it's like, oh, well, from this game, it kind of splits into like three different timelines depending on what kind of theory you get into. It's kind of like that. So it's a little bit complicated. But even aside from that, if you're just taking like the main games, so good. KH3, I loved it. I know a lot of people. Oh, I wouldn't say it was like super dividing, but there was some kind of like I guess too high of an expectation. But that's also because if you have followed the series, you know there's such a huge gap between like the main ones where it's like, oh, all this time has come out, all this tech has come out, like we got to get like the best of the best. Sometimes it's not like that, but it is what it is. KH will always be my top series. I love it. If I had to pick one game from the entire series, KH2. KH2 is probably my all-time favorite one out of the whole series. Just from the story, the gameplay, the characters, the different worlds that they have in, pretty good. And it's also like the only game where I actually follow and kind of do research on and just dive into like the stuff that I wouldn't normally do, like interviews from devs, um, the unreleased content, the artworks, the soundtracks and stuff, all that good stuff. But those would be my seven that got me to where I am now.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good list as well. I I actually like the way we did this trend because now looking back at the way you did your list and the way I did my list, like I said, it's almost like a shape of who you are or like a story to be told. And I kind of
Yeah,
like that we interpreted it different from the way I explained it because, like you said, you just the way you did yours, talking about it was more about like what got you into gaming, like you said, like the beginning of your list with the games you play with your family, to now the games that you've made videos on. And for me, on my side of the story, it was like games that I personally tried to like invest time into that I put on the list. So we kind of, like I
right.
said, interpret it different ways, which turned out to be perfect for this challenge because it gave us a different point of view on the topic, which is, like I said, beautiful at a way. So that's super cool. And like I said, any of the games that you had, like that you said that you want to mention, we can always find you in the link in the description, so you guys can go check out those games. Or if you guys want to check out the games that he mentioned, or the games that I mentioned, make sure you guys check them out. I will say that I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty positive. Besides Gotham City Imposters, every game that we listed on both of our lists is still obtainable to play and like
Yeah,
experience. It may be old, but like play it. It doesn't matter like what you play. You play what you want to play. And speaking of playing what you want to play, that kind of is going to lead us into the next thing, and
yeah.
that
From
is
all the love, let's talk about hate.
yeah, let's talk about hate. And it's crazy what is going on with the hate game culture thing. And like before we start, like talking about like specific details, there was a clip I seen of Shroud where he said something that kind of stuck with me and what's going on in gaming right now. And that is the time. That's not the time. That's the thing that like makes the most sense to me after hearing it, and it's that you invest so much time into certain games now that like you if people like Destiny's a good, I'm just gonna use Destiny for example. That game has been out for a
Mm,
long time. It's still live service updated, and now like games are not bad. That's the thing. There is just too many games that come out now, and not enough time to play everything. And the reason that I feel like these games are getting hate is because it's not about like a skill or like the game being good or bad. It's about if you've played the game for so many years, you just don't at this point have time to play the next one. Like you're not gonna leave your comfort game. Like if you're good at Destiny or you've invested so much time, you spent so much money, especially in a game like that. Why would
yeah,
I want to jump to the next thing? Like why am I gonna leave a game that I already feel like I'm accomplished in? I'm comfortable. I know what I'm doing to pick up another one, to learn it, to put more time into that when you only have so much hours in the day unless you're like a content creator full time. Unless gaming is full time for you, it's just there is too many games to play now. Like so, people just stick to their game, their one singular minded game, and that's all they can afford to play. And that unfortunately, that's just how the cookie crumbles now with gaming. There's no longer like like just like there's no longer like you said. I mean, not like you said, but there's no longer like people like who do content like me and you kind of where there's no longer variety gamers. It's just like
yeah,
and that sucks because usually like you would say there's no more variety content creators, which makes sense because like in a content aspect that makes sense. But it's outside of content. There's just no more variety gamers. Period. I know so many people that I have on friends list that like at this point like if I'm gonna play Val, I only know these people play Val. Like so, I'm gonna play Val. I have people to
mm-hmm,
play Val with, or people who play Deadlock, or people who play like I have so many people that I met through my community. Unfortunately, that they're coolest people I met. But like if I'm not playing Madden, like I ain't gonna get to play with them. They only play Madden. So it's like
yeah,
that's probably like one of the biggest problems when today is that it's not even about the games being good or bad. It's the comfort zone of people leaving the games that they have too much time invested in. And there's so many games coming out now that I think people I think people don't realize that like when people say gaming is dead or gaming is bad right now, it's the complete opposite of that. Like there's every year more and more games come out, more and more gems come out. It's just about you leaving the genre of game you play and your game that you have so much time attached to. Like you have to just put time into the game. It's like starting a new relationship. Like you have to give the game a chance. Like and that's exactly how like it
yeah,
is.
yeah. Going off of the the whole like, there's so many games for sure. Yeah, it gives you a much wider variety. But with that, there's a lot of shit games, and you might have heard like the little clip in the back because I was pulling up. I wanted to remember like the actual creator that had said this. Her
Yeah.
name's Luality. I don't know if you've heard of her, if you guys have heard of her, but she came up on my recommended one time. Really cool. She plays a bunch of like Souls-like games. The first
Hmm.
clip I ever saw her, she beat it with like a dance pad. Crazy shit. Check her out. But she said that she feels the problem, and this really like made like opened up my mind. That she feels like the problem with games nowadays is because we can just push out a game and then in like a week or two push out a patch. We're getting a lot of games that from the jump, all of that shit should have been fixed, patched out, polished out. But because there's such a like a demand for like the next big thing, we just get a bunch of games that are honestly unfinished for a full finished amount. Um, and like it opened up my mind because I was like, yo, I remember when DLCs they were not a thing. You got the game, that was it. I
Yeah.
think it was like during like the Black Ops like Call of Duty era where it was like, hey, we're bringing out a DLC. Correct me if I'm wrong. There might have been something before then. I wasn't super into gaming back then, but that was like my first encounter with it. They're like, yo, we're bringing out a DLC. It's an extra like $5 or something. You get 4 maps. There's a new weapon or two new weapons. You get a zombies map, and then there's like an exclusive, uh, you know, weapon just for that one, or there's like a new mechanic for that one. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, sure, you gotta pay $5 for it, but you're getting 4 whole new maps. You're getting 2 new guns that's gonna change up like the meta, your loadouts or whatever, and you're getting an extra like zombies map for those that were in a way back then. It was like, oh, cool, like now we can start building off on the theories that we have, right? And that's great because just solely speaking on the zombie stuff, I remember where or seeing it might just be like internet internet lore and like not actually like how it started, but the whole reason we had the zombie storyline was because somebody theorized, yo, one of the zombies sounds like they're saying Sam. Who's Sam? And the devs were like, well, I don't know who Sam is, but we could build off of this. And then the maps that came afterwards started building off on that.
Yeah.
So there's good and bad, right? That's the good of it. But now you get DLCs where it feels like, yo, this should have been part of the game from the beginning. Why am I paying now like 15, 20 bucks for some shit that's not even like adding all that much to the actual like base game? Like you mentioned last time where the Elden Ring DLC, it's just an entirely different game, but because it's smaller, they're like, you know what, whatever, we'll just release it as a DLC, right? And
Yeah.
because it's going off of like the same mechanics and everything, it's the just like the DLC specifically for Elden Ring. But there's so much more stuff in it. There's a completely new area, all these new bosses, all these new weapons that it does genuinely feel like a different game. It felt like, okay, maybe we can't go ahead and market this as its own standalone thing, but we can, give it to the fans as a DLC. Sure, it's pricier than like your now normal DLCs, but it's well worth it.
Yeah.
You're essentially getting like a mini game in this like super nice and like polished form. But and this kind of like evolved into like battle passes where it's like, okay, well, we do want the next big thing, but we need people to stay playing our games. So let's drop a whole bunch of like either like skins, um, weapons, whatever under this pass that you buy. And if you don't end up finishing it by the time that it's over, tough shit. You essentially wasted your money and nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
I think that's what essentially just like ruined it. Because I don't know who was the first one to do the battle pass, but after that, I feel like every single game now has a stupid ass battle pass.
I'm pretty
I
sure
don't
that might have
mind.
been Fortnite that started that. If I'm not mistaken, I'm thinking it's Fortnite. I'm not
That
gonna
would
lie.
make sense because they're just raking in an ass ton of money by the second every single day. But I don't mind if it's stuff like the war bonds from Helldivers where it's like, yo, here's a new pass, buy it, and it'll always be there. You can come back 3 months later, still gonna be there, no change. There might be extra war bonds that you can buy, but don't trip about it. They're gonna be there, still gonna be there after a year. You know,
Hmm.
that's fine with me because at that point it's like, okay, now it's on me. I can go in at my own pace, at my own time, and like just enjoy the game for what it is and then work towards all of that. And like you said, it feels like now you have to have your 9 to 5 as playing games or content creating because of the battle passes. Like there's a set amount of time and you're not going to get your money's worth if you don't complete that. So
Yep.
now you got to like set a schedule like, okay, now I got to play this game for 2 hours because I bought the battle pass and then the battle pass is going to come out for Apex in a couple weeks. So then I got to make time for that. And it's just, it's a lot. And for no like reason. Like if they want to drop the skins, just drop them as just a skin that you can buy. You know what I mean? Like it's not a big deal. And I know a lot of people are gonna hear that and be like, "Yo, no, skins have ruined games and stuff." I don't think it's just skins. I think it's just the devs have to have a certain like margin that they have to meet. And because we've already seen how lucrative battle passes can be and skins can be, that's probably the main focus that they have to focus on rather than the game. because I mean this whole segment is just like hating in general.
Yeah.
There was such a huge time in Apex where it was like season after season, it was just people constantly bashing and bashing the game of like, oh, you guys are focusing way too much on skins when you guys aren't even fixing the game. And these have been issues that have been around for months, and they haven't even at the very least been addressed and say, oh yeah, we're working on it. Instead, we're getting a $220 skin that's just for one character.
Yeah, the heirlooms stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's like I get that aspect, but it, I don't think it's just like on the devs. It's just a big corporation thing that's going on the back end where it's like, yo, we're really here for the community, but at the same time, we want to keep our jobs. So in order to do that, we gotta kind of appease the suits and kind of go this route. It's gotten better,
Yeah.
I think. I don't really play Apex that much anymore, just because like time stuff. But I feel like it's gotten better. Like I stopped playing for I think like 2-ish months, and then I just recently started playing it again, and it feels like it's all like polished
Yeah.
out and stuff now.
Yeah. Now
But
that, now that you mention Apex, the gameplay is a lot in a better spot. I still
yeah,
actually think though what you just said is still a problem now because I don't know if you like if you recently got on like now when you go look at the shop for Apex, it's like very
no,
in
it's
your face.
terrible.
In
There's like 10 pages of shit that
shit
you could
now.
buy.
Yes. And that used to not be a thing. And what I'm saying is the problem is now is like now if you look at some of the bigger complaints, and I watch a lot of creators who play the game still, like like you know, Prince and Oh Brother and stuff like that on TikTok. I don't know watch him. I don't know why I mentioned him, but a couple people who play the game still. How some of the pros they all play the game still, and it's like right now for some reason like obviously it's because EA people are gonna flame them anyway. EA is all about making money. The
Yeah,
shop is crazy, and right now there is like a really bad amount of cheaters, and people are like a lot of the people are like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
why do I have 10 different options to buy six different fucking $100 skins or whatever, but you guys can't, you know, use our money that we spend millions of dollars on these skins to fix an anti-cheat.
Right,
Like we have cheaters
right.
playing our game, and it's like that's like the problem. It's like I think that like these companies, like you said, do like these kind of things, and they don't fix like shit that should be obvious to fix. Especially that Apex is a well-known competitive game. It's a massive, massive esport, and we have
Yeah, I mean,
cheaters.
it got hacked mid tourney,
Yeah, and
like
it got
what,
yeah,
like 3 months ago or whatever, or
yeah.
whenever it was. Yeah,
It's like why is this even a thing that's a thing? Like why is there cheaters? Why are a massive company like EA even able to get hacked into? Like it's just it's so crazy the way that is. And another thing before you keep going, I know I want to keep. I didn't mean to cut you off. I think what you said about live service games, was gonna actually add on to that. I feel like like you said, games are unpolished, and what the creator you mentioned said is actually perfect because like yeah, I do think games come unpolished, and I think we went from like a full game for $60 to a nice DLC that was almost like a full game. Like that kind of meta
yeah,
switched to every game right now. I feel like a lot of the reasons why some of them are bad are because they're live service. I feel like Fortnite like started a wave of live service games. Like you said, every game has a battle pass. Every game has like these updates that are like itinerary updates instead of them being updates that should be like in demand. Like games like multiplayer games, for example, arena shooters just can't last and compete against Call of Duty now because a lot of these games come out and they want to do the live service aspect. X Defiant was a good example. It brought back that no skill based matchmaking. It brought back classic Call of Duty feeling, but they had a battle pass attached to it. We had an itinerary plan for a mid-season update for rank to come out, and rank got delayed unfortunately, and then it became like a part of like a live service update, little by little. Like every couple
yeah,
months, we're getting one gun, one map. Every couple months throughout the battle pass, you have to get to level 100 to get the gun, and it's like, bro, like this is just not gonna last, especially when you're not a well-established community thing. I think that's what games need to realize. Live service can work for Fortnite. Live service can work for Apex. Live service can work for Call of Duty. Live service can work for Destiny. Like these games that have hundreds of K players a day that are well established in the community. Like I said, these are games that like I mentioned earlier, these are people's comfort games. These are the games that people are have the time to play and invest in. Those games are
yeah,
well established. games like example, we're gonna get into like the High Guard Hate, which is a recent game that just came out. That game is like overly hated. It got review bombed. Like it was dead before it came out, pretty much, almost essentially. People were hating the game before it came out because of what it looked like. It looked like slop. It looked like it had a battle pass, which they do. They came out with like what people like you said. It felt like unfinished 3v3 on a big ass map. You ride a horse around. People were not feeling it. People heard the word hero shooter thrown around because it's like Apex and Overwatch like. And then when it's 3v3 on this big ass map, everyone's in the mode of like, why is it not 5v5? Why, this map is too big for 3v3. We need to be 5v5. It needs to be 5v5. And then, the game comes out for 2 weeks and they barely added 5v5. And now there's only 2,000 people playing a day. And it went from
Yeah.
100,000 people playing a day. And it's like, these games are not realizing that, like, yes, they want to be the next big thing, but sometimes live service isn't the move. Like, to me, like, why did this game need, character passes for? And it's cool because I mean, it's cool because the character passes are just like skins, but like, and there's nothing like paid to it. There's no weapon behind the paywall.
Right.
There's no
Right.
like something that changes the game. But at the same time, it's like, dude, like, why not just update the game to 5v5 and spend the time doing 5v5 instead of spending the time to do the battle pass? Like, you could have easily,
Yep.
adjusted your free to play service or your live play service to that, and it would have probably saved your game a little sooner than trying to plan out 10 years of content, itinerary characters coming out, battle passes tied to characters. Like, all that stuff is just not it for gaming anymore. Like, it just doesn't make sense to have those in every game now.
Yeah. And like adding on to like the next big thing, I feel like a lot of people just try to do the same thing but reskinned because they know it works and they're like, well, this is my chance to do it. I feel like a lot of people now just talking about like devs and people who make games are afraid to just kind of be unique, be
Yeah.
like different, come up with something like new. And it's because they know the formula. And the formula works. Like people still buy the games, you know what I mean? Like cuz there's still hope of like okay, maybe this like can actually work. Then something ends up happening and then it just like completely drops it. And then I feel like at that point, then it's like, okay, maybe it is a dev thing and not just oh, the suits are just wanting a money thing. I think the best example for that was No Man's Sky. Everybody was super excited about it and stuff, and then there was a bunch of delays because they're like adding things, fixing things, or whatever. They were giving false promises, and it was just a shit show when it
Hmm.
dropped. And then I think it was like for like 6 months or something. The main guy, I can't remember his name. If you guys remember it, then put it in the comments. But he just went MIA for 6 months and got his team was like, "Yo, we wanted to put out a product of this quality. It's not where it's at. Let's give the people what they want." And then there was a bunch of free, like huge patches
Yeah.
where it's like we're not just fixing the game, we're giving you guys extra stuff because this is what we feel like y'all deserved when y'all bought the game. And everybody started loving it. Like now it's like one of those games where it's like, oh, you have to pick it up and try it now. But it's it's a lot of like that where it's just like false promises, things look good on paper, but then when it's actually in like the hardware, it's not there. And I feel like it just revolves around like three big things. It's they're not given enough time to actually like fully finish the game and polish it out.
Yeah.
They're too money hungry and there's just not enough like creativity in it. Like I don't know how many games after Fortnite came out that were like, "Oh yeah, let's make a battle royale." You know what I mean? And then a lot of them were cool for like a week and then just died. Some of them
Hmm.
didn't even last a week. Like I remember we played Blood Hunt and I think that shit lasted for like 2 3 days.
Yeah, I felt like it. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
I feel like those are the three big things.
Yeah, and I agree, and I also think that's another problem more than another problem, because don't get me wrong, I don't think copying gaming is a necessarily bad thing. Like, like for
Yeah.
example, like hero shooters, like the big thing. I don't know if you've noticed the controversy. Like Overwatch 2 dropped the Overwatch 2. Like they dropped the two part, made it just Overwatch again. They turned it back
Yep.
into like a franchise. But when you play a hero shooter, right, and you have Marvel Rivals, which is a big competitor, and honestly, they're the reason that Overwatch is changing. Um,
Yep.
when you look at the games, it's to the point now where like the Marvel Rivals community hates the Overwatch community hates the Rivals community. But what I'm saying
Hmm.
is like, what I mean by like, it's not necessarily a bad thing to copy something. It's like, dude, there's only so much you can do in a hero shooter, because like I hate that
Right.
people are like, I don't know if you, like I said, I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but Overwatch recently dropped 5 new characters, and some of those characters are like kind of getting hated for being ripoffs of Overwatch. I mean, Marvel Rivals
Yeah.
is getting. I mean, Marvel Rivals not Overwatch. Overwatch is getting hate for ripping off characters from Marvel Rivals. There's currently a character, a DPS character. She's like a flame. Like she uses fire. She has like these fans or whatever. Well, her
Hmm.
ultimate is pretty much a Jean Grey Phoenix dive to the ground that looks very similar to, you know, Phoenix. And everyone's like, wow,
Yeah.
this is slop. They're like copying their characters, which is it's so funny to think about because it's like, dude, like every hero shooter copies every hero shooter. Like there's
Hmm.
what more can you do? You have to take your own spin on it, yes, but it's like you can say the same thing like about Marvel Rivals. Like Penny Parker is literally a diva. It's the same
Yeah.
fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, what is there to do? It's a hero shooter. Like, what more do you want these people to do? The fucking new character that just came out from Marvel Rivals is practically Ash. Instead of her throwing a metal robot at you, she throws a giant ass wolf at you. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Like what more can these companies do to be diverse? Now, when it's something like you said, when it's something more serious, like a story mode game, and it's like a complete like copy or like a BR, yeah, BRs I think need to be different in the sense to where like you can't just go off of like you know specific like just different guns but it feel like the same. That's kind of like that.
Yeah.
There's a game I play on PC called Farlight
Yeah.
84.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Literally a 1-to-1.
it's
Damn
literally a
near.
1-to-1 of Fortnite,
Yeah.
and it's like, bro, like the character like now they try to have characters have abilities kind of, which is like the part that's supposed to be different, which it is different, but like the art style, the map, the gunplay, it's fucking practically Fortnite. Like it's third person. It's like so Fortnitey, and it's funny. It's so a mixture of like Fortnite and Apex, and people it gets hate, but like a part of that I think that is bad now. And this is the next thing I say it's like I agree with you, but I also kind of think like the reason it's like a negative is because people don't formulate their own opinions. Like I feel like this is where I'm gonna get into like the
Yeah.
review bombing thing
Yeah.
because like games like Farlight or games like Blood Hunt, like especially Blood Hunt. Blood Hunt to me was a completely different game. Like I can't look at Blood Hunt and be like I can't put my like thumb on it and be like, wow, this game is really like Apex or this game's really like Fortnite because it wasn't. It was like super different. It was ahead of its time for movement. Movement was like super smooth in that game. Like I feel like that was one of the best movement BRs I've ever played. Like between
Mm.
the mantling up the building super fast, the sliding, the slide jumping, the sliding and being able to like aim your weapon in different directions, the backslide. It was like it's kind of like BO7 now. Like Call of Duty literally took Blood Hunt's movement. If you look at Call of Duty now, you can literally slide in every direction. You can literally slide backwards while shooting your gun. You can slide forward while shooting your gun. You can slide to the left, slide to the right, and like that was
Yup.
Blood Hunt. And then you had like unique vampire abilities. Like obviously like I kind of feel like Blood Hunt. The only thing you could say Blood Hunt is like a copy and paste of it. Like they did their own um take on like takedowns. Like in Apex, you knock someone, you go do
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
finisher. But theirs was kind of unique though. You knock someone, if you don't have health, you pick them up and you're a vampire. You suck their blood, it gives you your health back. They finishes them. It's like you
Yup.
fully executed it and you got health back. So it was like something a little unique. But I feel like people just don't like form their opinions, and that kind of sucks because like now I'm gonna get into like some good examples. Like I don't know if you watched like the Sony State of Play thing, but like there was recently a game coming out that Horizon made that it isn't a story mode game. It's called Hunter's Gathering, which is like I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it or not,
Okay.
but it's like it's pretty much essentially a Night Rain slash Monster Hunter setting. It's a multiplayer game.
Mm.
You play up to like I think like 3 or 4 players can play in a party, and you have like classes. Like you have like a person can be DPS, a person can be tank, a person can be healer, and then it's like roguelike.
Right.
It's roguelike to where you like build your characters. Like you don't have to go down one path. It's more what's a good example? It's kind of like Diablo, where like each skill has like different trees. So like for example, like if one of the abilities is like electric, like let's just say it's lightning, there'll be like different paths you can go down to get different abilities. Like we could both be using lightning,
Okay.
but like I could be throwing like lightning bolts. You could have like a tree where like you slam the ground and lightning comes up from the ground. Like just different examples, right?
Yeah.
Shit like that. And you know the game. It's just the trailer came out. I watched the Sony Live event. The trailer came out, and in the fucking in the comment section, it is just flooded with L game. This shit looks like slop. Why would I play this when I play
Yeah.
Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter ripoff. What the fuck is this Dauntless remake? It's like, bro, like it's just getting bombed before the game is. The trailer's not even over yet. Like I haven't even heard the devs talk about why their game is different, and it's like the game
Yeah.
is fucking dead. And I'm like, bro, it's just getting massively like if you go on Steam to look at the game, like the game just got added on Steam, right? That shit has like 60K dislikes. Like I haven't
That's
even
crazy.
installed the game yet, like, and it's already got 60K dislikes. And it's like, dude, that is so crazy with gaming, and that circles us back to like people are not forming their like opinions, like, and that's something with Bloodhound. I'm not saying Bloodhound's a bad game. I don't know if you were or not. It might have been to you, but like to me, those games are not bad. It's just like they
No,
have a
yeah, it
chance to
was
exist.
fun.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
that are bad. Don't get me wrong. There's some that are just done, and
Yeah.
there's just some that are terrible, like you said. There is a such thing as shit games. I agree, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's a such thing as like it's unplayable. Like if you like the game, you should play the game. And that's the thing with like content creators, like people who like I don't know, like a good example would be like Valorant or like CS:GO. People love those games. They obviously like that genre. At least they want to make content about those kind of games, but they don't. Let's say they don't necessarily like the slow pace of it. And there's a game called Fragpunk that comes out the same genre. It's more like fast paced Call of Duty style, like Rainbow style, where you like can move faster. It has like goofy as like cards, and like when I see people who create videos on that or they stream that, I go into their fucking thing and it's like it's the most hateful fucking comment section ever. Like Valorant's
Yeah.
better, CS:GO is better. Why are you playing this? Valorant's so much better. Valorant knockoff. Like even TikTok, I literally uploaded a TikTok the other day of me playing the new character on Overwatch or the second latest new character, which is Vendetta. And in my comment section, some dude was like, "Magic?" question mark. I'm like, is that fucking supposed to offend me? Because I don't care. Like I said the same shit. Like it doesn't bother me. Like it's not
Yeah.
like I'm gonna disagree with you and be like, "Oh, Overwatch didn't copy. This isn't Magic." When I fucking saw the character, I was like, "Oh, that's Magic." Like it's not,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing, and like, it's just people are not ready to like form their opinions on whether the game is good or bad, and it's so crazy. Like the comment sections and people's opinions dictate a game's success now, and that's what sucks for High Guard.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think that High Guard is a live service game, which you can say that all live service games are bad. That you can't just say that it's just High Guard. Like you can't pick and choose what live service games are bad. It's all live service games are bad. But High Guard specifically is getting so much hate, and the player base is dying, and they're firing their dev team, and it's just literally all because the hate is forced. It's like, dude, like the game had like 70K dislikes after the game of year, or the
Yeah.
game of year, or the game award trailer. It was the last game trailer, and I feel like that ruined that. Honestly, might have killed him. Being the last trailer of the fucking game awards was like it's because like it was the last trailer and it wasn't the game that
Yeah.
everyone wants. So because it wasn't the game they wanted, they're just gonna hate the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is so crazy because like I said, and it doesn't help when they announce the team. You know, the guy announces the last game award trailer, right? And he's like, "Oh, this is from the developers of the people who made Titanfall and the
Yeah,
people who
because you
made."
have those expectations.
Yeah, it was like these are the ex-dev teams from Apex and the people who made Titanfall, right? The screen goes black. The fucking millions of people watching in the comment section are like, Titanfall 3, Titanfall 3, Titanfall 3, Titanfall 3, Titanfall 3. The fucking game trailer starts with like, what the fuck is this? Like, and then I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
and then it's immediate hate. Like, it doesn't even matter. That game, I'm telling you, High Guard could have came out and been game of the year, but because the narrative was set from the beginning, it was ruined. And it's like crazy because
Yeah.
and it's to this point where like if you're like a content creator that wants to support the game, you can't. Like I don't know if you've seen the clip of Tim the Tatman. Like he was trying to play his game, and he closed the game. He got the game right, and he's like, I just can't fucking play the game. He's like, even if I want to say I like the game, he's like, my chat, you guys are fucking. All I'm seeing is negativity in my chat. Like I'm not gonna fucking play the game on stream if y'all are not gonna let me play. And it's like, dude, like
Yeah.
there's chat is controlling what he's playing. And I'm like, that is insane that we're at a point like that where like people can't play what they enjoy. Like no one games for themselves no more. Like even
Yeah.
our friends are like that sometimes. Like all of us, like we want to like play a niche game, which we do. I mean, I guess I won't say our friends are that. We play niche games, but like in the sense to where like when it comes to group play, like all of our friends can only play like Overwatch. All of our friends can only play Apex. All of our friends can only play Call of Duty. Like we can't get all of
Mm.
our friends to boot up like something random. Like we can't fucking download like a random PvP game and start playing it. You know, like it's hard.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what was a good example of it? It's like Ark with Gabe. Like Gabe's super in the Ark. All of us are like Minecraft dudes. Gabe tried to get us all to get on Ark, and it's like everyone is like, oh well, dude, like I kind of like Minecraft better. This is kind of like whatever. It's kind of like that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad thing for friends, but it's like that example of like it even happens to like your day to day people like us. Like I don't play certain games because I'm like I started to play a game and I'm like like this game is cool, but like I'm playing this. It's it's kind of like that, you know. And it sucks that gaming is like that, and it's just crazy that people don't inform their opinions and then games get reviewed bombed, and they haven't even came out yet. And I don't.
Yeah, and like
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. There you go.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's
No, you're.
like people got to realize games they're not made for everybody. You know what I mean? They have a certain like demographic and market and like community that they want to aim it towards. Like I don't know if any of y'all remember this game or even know this game even existed or if you played it yourself. Battleborn. Do you remember that game or did you even like play that game?
I think I recognize it. I don't think I played it, but I think I recognize it.
So for those that don't know, and it's so sad because we, like me, Miggy, and Ernie used to play the shit out of it. It was, I think, like a month or two before Overwatch had dropped, and it was same concept. You got your characters and stuff, but it was
Oh, I do actually
like
remember this game.
Borderlands kind of inspired, or maybe it was the same team from Borderlands. That game was so fun to play, and I don't like games like that. When Overwatch came out, hated it. Never played it. I played probably for like a week, and I was like, "This is not for me." Literally the same game, same mechanics, same things, but it just wasn't for me. And people got to understand that's fine. If you don't resonate with a game, just don't play it. If it's not for you, it's not for you. It doesn't have to be
Not
the
for everyone.
next big,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have to overshadow something. There's games that can live in the same genre and be successful just being like their own thing. I think a good example is like Dark Souls and like Hollow Knight in the same kind of realm, like Souls likey kind of thing. They're both super successful, but they don't have to compete with each other. They're
Yeah.
in their own little biome and they're good. They have their communities. Maybe some people, interlock with the communities and stuff because they just like the genre as a whole. So they play both. But one doesn't have to be like, oh, they're just completely taking the mechanics from this, or they're just trying to be the next this. It doesn't have to always be like that. It can just be as it is. And I feel like sometimes just people are afraid to take, just like risk. More so of like nowadays being like politically correct and like we have to kind of like sugarcoat like stuff. Like
Yeah.
I'm not really spoiling it, but one of the next things that I'm gonna put up on the channel is Silent Hill F. Little sneak peek for y'all. And in the beginning, there's like a warning saying like, "Oh, this is the game is set during this time period. During this time period, there's different views. We don't support these kind of views." It's like it's one thing to be like, "Yo, this game, there's a bunch of like gore and stuff. If you got problems with that, then like dip on out. This
Or
isn't a
like
game
change
for
the
me."
setting.
Or like
Yeah.
their settings. Yeah, there's one thing of doing that. It's completely different where it's like you have to remind people that like when something is set at a certain time period, the devs and the people working on it are not like, yo, we want to make a game because we just want to start dropping the hard R, or we just want to make a game where it's like we got to show these women getting abused and stuff. It's
Yeah.
like, dog, that's not the whole. Like they're trying to tell a story within that time frame.
Yeah.
They're gonna keep it accurate because then when it's not accurate, you get in a situation where the new Assassin's Creed one, where people are nitpicking like the super like small details and stuff. Some are warranted. when they're like, oh, we're trying to be, you know, exactly, historically accurate and stuff, and then they got like things blooming in like a season where it's not, or like the clothes that they're wearing is not from that time period. Things like
Yeah.
that is like, okay,
Samurais aren't
that's
black.
fair. Eh, oh, dude, oh, dumb. That was like the one where I was like, oh, dude, does it really matter? Like, it's whatever, man. They wanted them to look a certain way. They got it that way. Like, whatever. If it's not for you, don't play it. Not like you bringing that up. When Blade came out, they're like, oh, Eva's way too sexualized. Why does she look like that? When you have old ass games like Bayonetta that are like cult classics and everybody loves, sure, there might have been hate back then with like her character design, but it's like the dude just wanted to make a game where the main character is a chick, she's a badass, and sure, she happens to be hot. Like, is there really a problem with that? I feel
Yeah.
like there shouldn't be. And then you have to have like the creators come out and be like, essentially like trying to justify themselves instead of like just being, oh, like this is what it is. This is like the creative aspect that I went with, and be like, oh, well, actually, I modeled Eve after my wife. So like, there you go. It's not me trying to like entice people to play the game because, oh, there's a hot chick,
Hmm.
and nobody has even like tried to play the game at this point, and y'all are just judging the main character or the whole game just off of the main character, when like the game itself and the story pretty fucking solid. It's, I don't know. There's a lot of that stuff going on too. That's kind of ruined games also.
Yeah. I definitely agree. Like I said, that all goes back to like the opinion thing. Like you just have to have like opinions on games is just so bad. I also like think it's kind of crazy. Like I said, the people like hear like you said they hear that complaint, and that little complaint right there that you just mentioned about like the sexualizing thing is probably what like generates people like leaving comments about like not playing the game at all. Like they're gonna be like, don't play the game because of that, and they don't even try the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. You haven't even played the game. You don't even know what the story's about,
Yep.
and it's like, okay, dude.
Yeah, that's exactly what generates that kind of stuff, and that's like the thing I was gonna say. The next thing is like I think people need to see these games. If you enjoy the game, like I said, form your opinion. If you like the game, play the game. I get it. If you're like a
Yeah,
streamer or if you're like like I don't know, content creator, and you try to like play a game, like a good example, like that Battleborn game you're talking about. Which I looked that up. I actually do remember that game because I remember like that game in Paladins was like really popular, like around the same time as like Overwatch coming out. And
yeah,
like when Overwatch came out and that game was still like active or like Paladins was active, like I streamed Paladins a while ago, like about like, a couple weeks ago, just to check it out on PC because I was bored of Overwatch. I was bored of my rivals. I still liked the game
yeah,
category. I wanted to play Paladins. I hadn't played Paladins in a long time. I generally hopped in the game. I enjoyed it. I started streaming. During my stream, I had like 4 or 5 viewers, and like I had a random first time viewer, like, and I don't like really like deal with like hate essentially, but when you
yeah,
play a game like that, I started off with like five. I have one guy comment on there like, dude, like, why are you playing this? Play Overwatch. Like this shit's so ass. This shit's so old. I climb up to like 20 viewers, and I'm like 5 viewers in, and the first five comments are like, "Why are you playing this old ass game? Like more rivals exist." And I'm like, "Why is there 20 viewers in my chat right now that went on Twitch to look at the Paladins category and
yeah,
just comment, go play Marvel Rivals? Like, is this a
yeah,
NetEase employee? Like, why
yeah,
am I getting bashed for playing this? Like, who cares? Like, if I like the game, I like the game. And then people will be like, dead game. I'm like, I'm literally in a fucking match right now. How is it dead?
yeah,
Like, that's the thing I'm getting ready to say. Like, if you see another thing people need to stop looking at is like, I think people's expectation of a dead game is very like weird. If your game has like 1,000 plus players, that does not mean your game. Yes, it's dead if you go check the player count for Fortnite. If you go check the player count for Fortnite, there's fucking 500K people active. If you check the player count for League of Legends, there's fucking almost 1 million people active. Yeah,
yeah.
those your game is not gonna be that game. Those are generational games. League of Legends is
Hmm.
arguably probably the game of the decade. Like, bro, like you're not gonna. Not every game is League of Legends. If you're a player, if you
Yeah,
can find matches in the game, if it's a story mode game and you find the replay value of the game, if it's your favorite game and it's still obtainable for you to open the game, press play, find a match, then the game is successful. Now, yes, if you play like a game like Fragpunk or you play a game like High Guard now, where there's only 2,000 players, when you get to the optimal peak of rank, yes, it's gonna feel like a dead game because you're probably playing the
Yeah.
same couple hundred players, the same couple 50 players. Yes, that's where you can make an exception for the game being like dead in a sense. But it doesn't matter if you find the match and you enjoy the game. If you're still liking the game, even if you play the same dude 10 times, who cares? Like that could happen in Valorant. Like Valorant has millions of players, and I can still run into the same person in my elo all the time. For one, people got to realize where are you playing the game from? If you're NA and you're launching the game, you're gonna play other NA players. That might
Yeah.
happen to be the same dude. It doesn't matter if it's Valorant or Fragpunk. Like you're gonna play the same players regardless. You're launching from America. Like you're launching from NA. Like it's gonna happen. Like
Yeah,
there's
I was
no
gonna
way.
mention dead game is like your servers are done. Battleborn servers were done. That's a dead game.
Yeah, if like Paladins has like I think like 17 to like on a good day like 17 to 2K, on a bad day like 1400. At nighttime, obviously the number dwindles down to about like 12 to 900. But it's like, dude, the game has a community still. That the game,
Hmm.
if the game you can find matches, you it's fine. Like dude, like unless it's like if it's to the point where you're launching the game and the game is barely up and there's bots and stuff in the game, then it's dead. Like that game Farlight,
Yeah.
it has like 200 players, and there's just not enough players in the same region for you to launch a full match. So you have bots in your match. That is very much a dead game. But at the end of the day, the servers are still up, and if you enjoy playing the game essentially is still playable. Yes, it's dead as to where there's no real players, but as long as the game is still up, it's still playable. And if you enjoy the game, you enjoy the game. Like
Yeah.
hate gaming has to stop. People, review bombing games before playing has to stop. And another thing that I don't understand why people are afraid of is like if you love your game, right, and you have a game that comes out. Monster Hunter is a good example of this with the Monster Gathering thing. I love Monster Hunter.
Mm.
Right now, Monster Hunter is doing nothing wrong, right? They have these free DLCs. They have a planned DLC like old school games where you pay another probably like it's gonna be like $40, $60. We're pretty much getting Monster Hunter Wilds 2.0, or like how the last Monster Hunter was. It was
Okay.
Monster Hunter, and then we got Monster Hunter Iceborne, and then it merged into one update, and the game was just called Monster Hunter Iceborne. And Iceborne has just as many hours of playtime as the whole ass Monster Hunter game. It's literally like
Yeah.
a sequel to the game, but the same game, kind of. It's kind of like part one and part two, and then it becomes one 10-hour movie. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
And I think what people need to understand is yes, Monster Hunter is not doing bad. Their product is good. They're leading the way. But when a game like this Gathering game comes out, the Wilds game or the fucking Horizon game comes out, I think that people should want other games to succeed because people gotta look at it from like a business standpoint. If another game succeeds, it's gonna make your game that you love a lot want to be better. Hence,
Yeah.
Overwatch. Overwatch was fucking in a bad state. It was stale because they have no they're greedy. Like you said, the companies get greedy. For them, they were at the optimal peak of the best hero shooter out. Like they didn't give a fuck how bad their product was because like you're gonna play regardless. It's like Call of Duty right now. Call of Duty is
Yep.
gonna continue to be shit because other arena shooters can't come out. X Defiant died. You know, Concord died. Like all these other games, High Guard is like somewhat of an arena shooter. It's dying. Like you can't compete with Call of Duty because there is no competition, and because there's no competition, they're not motivated to make their game better. Overwatch would not be successful right now, or it would still be successful, but it would not be revived if it wasn't for Marvel Rivals. Marvel Rivals came out, took
Yeah.
a majority of their player base, has over 100K active players. People are leaving Overwatch to play this game, and then Overwatch is like, fuck, dude, we're actually like, I want to be better than Marvel Rivals. Like, they're taking all of our, we're at the point where they feel threatened now, and they want to evolve. They want to get better. You should want that for all the games you play. Instead of hating the other game, you should encourage these other games to come out and make your game better. Competition is
Yeah.
good. Iron sharpens iron. Like that should be the thing. You don't want to gatekeep your game and then shit on the category because then eventually, like I'm not saying every company, and I'm not saying this is gonna happen to Monster Hunter because they're really well, they're Namco, they're doing really good, but like Call of Duty is a good example of the game is gonna continue to be bad for the mass majority of us because we also don't support other games that would threaten Call of Duty. If Call of Duty doesn't feel
Yeah.
threatened, if you guys buy millions of copies every year, they're gonna continue to release slop. Like that is what it is. Like if you just don't have a way to threaten them, and it's not like majority of people are gonna stop buying the game. There's always gonna be your fucking 9 to 5 battle dad that only has time to play Call of Duty. He's gonna buy it every year. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's just the story of that's the more of the story, and that people gotta realize that if you would stop hating on games, play games that you like, it would probably benefit from other games. That's why I don't get it. Like it's just easier to like find other games in the same genre that you like and try them. Doesn't mean you have to be a fan of them, but
Yeah.
try them, support them. Like you should want a game like Hunter's Gathering to succeed to better Monster Hunter, or vice versa. You should want like this is a good example. You should want a game smaller to succeed, so then maybe it drives players to other games. A good example
Mm-hmm.
is like Deadlock right now, the game I mentioned in the last podcast. Deadlock is a hero shooter slash MOBA. Other people from other games are getting motivated to play that game, right? League of Legends people, some of them, the enthusiasts, are hating Deadlock because it's not League of Legends. But little by little, let's say I start playing Deadlock, I start to like MOBAs, and then it gets me interested to try a different MOBA, and maybe I play League of Legends. It's gonna double your player base. That those things can
Yeah.
benefit your game instead of hating on the game. You should want people to be into your game because the more people that play MOBAs, it benefits all the MOBAs. Like Smite is a really good example of that. The high-res game, the smaller one. Smite right now is getting an increased player base because all these people are trying MOBAs. They see Smite, they see League of Legends, they see I don't know some other ones, but anyways, you get what I'm saying. They see other games, and then it
Mm-hmm.
makes them want to go try that game. For us, that was like us with Elden Ring. None of us have played Souls-like games. We all played Elden Ring. We got the itch to try another Crab's Treasure. We tried fucking Dark Souls 2. We played the Elden Ring DLC. We might play Night Ring now. Like that kind of stuff. That one game opened our eyes to the genre and made us want to try other games. And that's the positive part about it. But instead, it's like right now people rather hate than try the game. People rather like gatekeep their game and be like my game's the best. Don't play that game. And it's just not a great product to me at all, or a great way to think about gaming. Like gaming is universally has grown. Obviously, that's just the thing. Like I said, there's so many games out now. If people would be more open minded about trying the game and playing the game that you like, it's like play the game you like, bro. Like especially, it doesn't make sense to me
Yeah.
if you're not streaming or you're not making content. I get it if you're like the type of person who only plays with your friends. Like, yeah, it sucks if you like a game and they don't like a game. You're gonna play what they like. But at the same time, it's like, dude, if you like the game and your friends are not on, play the game you like. You shouldn't be opening your console or PC or whatever, and then looking at a game like Fragpunk and being like, well, it only has 2,000 players. Since the majority of the community is not playing, I'm gonna stop playing this game. Like, you shouldn't let that stop you from playing the game that you want to play. Like, that shouldn't be an obstacle for you to have to even overcome, especially if it's not content. Now, if you're trying to grow content and you want to like go live, I understand like what just happened to me, like with Paladins. I understand not wanting to deal with that. Some people aren't like they're not confronted, or they don't want to be confronted by it. They don't want to receive the hate. Then just play it off stream. It doesn't mean you have to not play the game. I don't see why you
Yeah.
can't have an opinion. It's like people want to like keep it to themselves. They want to hide that they play the game. Like people will want like it's almost like the meme where like your homie wants to go offline for him to play Hello Kitty Island Adventure. Like, dude, like
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
play the game you want to play. Who gives a shit?
Yeah. No, no, yeah. Two quick things because I know we've been yapping.
Yeah.
But for me, it was like the opposite with Elden Ring. I first played Hollow Knight. That was like my first intro to like Souls like as a whole, or just like
Oh, okay,
difficult
okay, yeah.
games. Hollow Knight was like not my. I liked it for a little bit, and then I was like, So then I stopped playing it, and then Elden Ring came out, and I was like, okay, well, I already had my impression from Hollow Knight. It wasn't really, but it was good, up until a point for me. Let me try Elden Ring. I liked Elden Ring, and then that then brought me to other ones, and now I kind of want to go back and play Hollow. Like sometimes it's just like the game itself, and not
Hmm.
like the mechanics and stuff that brings you into the genre, the franchise, or whatever, and then you you just you go from there. But aside from that, I had it and then I completely lost it. Oh, playing the games that you want to play when your friends are. So I mean that BO2. I had the homies, and we played BO2
Hmm.
even when they weren't on. And I know, we're talking specifically about like more niche games that your homies aren't into. But even if it's not, um, I would never play BO2 solo. It was always with the homies. But
Yeah.
then I was like, you know what? I want to play. I want. Let me go online and just play a couple games. It might go shit because it's a bunch of randoms and I don't want to be on the mic, but I still want to play the game. Literally, if I did not do that one day, I would have never met Mickey and I would have never been talking to you guys and like going on this whole like YouTube adventure and all that. So it's I don't want to seem like every little thing is like a butterfly effect, but you never know what can end up happening if you just pick up a game. Like you could be like the next big like peanut for a certain game. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
So you never just if you find any kind of interest in a game, just pick it up, try it. It's cool if you don't like it afterward. Yeah, it sucks. You might be out a couple bucks, but I mean, if you didn't play that long, you might be able to get a refund. You know what I mean? But just play what you like at the end of the day, and then if you don't
I
like it,
agree.
it's
Yeah.
cool. Move on.
Yeah, and I also think like play what you like, and I also think like there's no point for you to hate on other people playing what they like. Like, I honestly,
Mm-hmm.
this is a hot take, and I'm not saying this is the cause of everything, but this is like a conspiracy theory right here to me. I feel like
All right.
party chats ruined gaming culture because, like you just said, you met Miggy randomly playing by yourself, right? Back in the
Yeah.
day, like on Xbox 360, I know I had party chat. PlayStation 3 did not have party chat, right? Like you couldn't just you had to talk in game chat and just mute everyone else because there was no party
Yep.
chat feature, right?
Yep.
But I feel like my conspiracy is that is what started like hating randoms in a way because back then when you didn't have party like even on Xbox like if you weren't in a party chat you kind of just like chilled in game chat and like you met people in game and then it gave you the option to want to play that game regardless of the player base because like you had someone that you met playing the game. Like you, for example, met
Yep.
Miggy playing Call of Duty. So then the next day you probably wanted to get on Call of Duty, and you like fuck it, I'm gonna play with them again. And it's like I
Yep.
feel like having party chats now ruined game because now like one, it makes I get it like Call of Duty toxic lobbies back then was like a meme. That was a meme thing, right? I get that. But at the
Yeah.
same time, you also met hella chill people because everyone had to be in game chat if they weren't in party chat anyways. So sometimes
Oh yeah.
people you met vibers, like you just met people who were like chilling. You met more people, and then it switched to like every console had party chat, everyone had Discord, everyone had TeamSpeak, and then it's like now like going into game chat is almost like going into like a review. It's like, dude, it's
Yeah.
just super toxic. Like I'm gonna be in party chat, and then if I happen to go in game chat and I start to do bad, it's like someone will purposely only go into game chat just to shit talk you.
Talk shit. Yep.
And it's like,
Yep.
bro, like it's like, dude, it's Valorant, and if you play competitive games, that is the worst thing possible. If I'm playing Valorant and I'm solo queue, right, and we have someone doing bad, or I'm doing bad, or me, it doesn't bother me if someone turns on the mic and says something stupid, like I'm just having a bad game, or maybe I'm getting sold, or like that's the thing with Valorant, like, or any team game, like it's not just one person's fault, it's the whole team's fault. But in a sense, is like those kind of games are so bad because like let's say it's two randoms. I have a fucking 1 in 5 jet who's like supposed to be like the carrying the team, and then I have a support
Yeah.
player. The support player turns on his mic, starts talking shit to the jet. The jet just talking shit, and then it's like you get into this environment where the jet's gonna be like, well, I'm just gonna fucking throw your game. Oh, well, there goes the game for 3 other people because now these two idiots only turn on their mic to say something negative. Like, bro, like it's just like you only come out of party chat now to say something negative, and that's the same thing with hating on games. It's like party chat ruined like the community in a way to me. If there was like no party chat, like I'm not saying there shouldn't be party chat. There should obviously be party chat, but like what I'm saying is the idea of party chat just made it like it almost forced hating randoms because now like that's a popular thing now. Like when
Mm.
you play games, like I hate my randoms, or like you said, I don't want to play alone. I don't want to I don't want to talk to randoms
Yeah.
because like I don't know how good they are. I don't know how bad they are. I don't know if they're fucking weirdos or not. And it's like that just it's like you said a butterfly effect to all of gaming. And it's like bro, like I only come out of party chat now to fucking you know like say something negative. So it's like, bro,
Yeah.
like, and that, and also like, it also affects the games people play because now it's like I get on. I specifically know people who like they get on, and before they pick the game that they're gonna play, they like check to see if they have like parties to join or discords to be in, If no one's off, they just turn their shit off. They just get the fuck off. Like, and I'm like, bro, like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I get it. Sometimes people need people to play with. Like, I don't want to play alone either. Like, I guess like I have more fun playing with my friends too. I'd rather play the games that I want to play with my friends. But like me not playing Horizon Zero Dawn, or me not playing like Ratchet and Clank, or me not playing like a story mode game, or a game that I like Deadlock, I'm not gonna not play the game because no one's on. Like if it's
Right.
ranked,
Right.
I understand. Obviously, if it's ranked, like maybe I don't want to play something competitive with randoms, but like just playing like a public match or like a quick match
Yeah.
or a story mode game, like what? I don't need my friends to play, and I feel like that kind of stuff. That's what I did. That's my like, little conspiracy. I feel like party chat almost also ruined the gaming culture because like now you don't just have like cool people to meet. Like now it's like there's plenty of people who play games on console. They go into a party chat by themselves. Like they just start a private party. They don't turn on their mic. You can't hear people in game, and then they don't meet people to
Yeah.
play. And then that also like eliminates the amount of people playing the game together because if you have people to play with at the end of the day, I feel like you're more encouraged to want to play the game anyways. And it's like if you don't meet people who play the game, it's kind of like bad. And I don't get it for console. It's like super hard because like LFG on console is so much harder than PC. Like on PC, I can literally find a game like Fragpunk, like I said, has 2,000 players a day. I can literally join the Fragpunk Discord on PC, and there's like all the people who play the game that are welcoming people to play the game. Or there's like plenty of parties for me to find the game like in seconds. Like on console, like yeah, I could join a Discord, but it's like console barely got Discord this last year. So it's like before that, like if you were playing on console and PC together, it's like super hard to LFG because one, finding all console players is hard, and then two, like it's just a third party app. You have to go out of your way to find people to play with. So all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff ties into like gaming being bad and stuff. And like you said, you were right. We have been yapping. I think we should kind of get to wrapping it up. It's been a long episode. We've kind of covered a lot of ground, and I think, like I said, at the end of the day, like you said, play what you like. I think we gave our input on how games can be fixed. I would just say at this point, like you know, gaming as a whole is weird. It's so funny because like gaming back then to us was like niche. It's almost like watching anime.
Yeah.
Like I feel like when
Yeah.
we were younger in middle school, like gaming was like hit and miss. Like some people play games, or some people like didn't play games. It was like if you play games, you were kind of like not weird because it was like not that.
You
It's
you were
not.
the nerd.
Yeah, you were kind of like the nerd. Like gaming was like for like super nerdy. Like you were like either like popular or like in the sports. So gaming was a nerd. And now it's like gaming is like super popular, especially for like
Hmm.
every gender. Like COVID kind of really boosted gaming and opened up the gaming world. Like there's so many people who like barely started playing gaming in COVID, and now like every game has like a lot of players. Just the player base has doubled nowadays. Like gaming is more like normal. It's kind of like watching anime. Like
Yeah.
now anime is like a top category. Like we have an award for it. It's at like the movie awards. Like it's just like a thing now. It's not like a niche no more. So
Yeah.
it's like super crazy that the game is like that, and it's still crazy that like this hate is forced. And I don't know, people like need to stop. Just be in your bag, bro. Play what you want to play. Download the game. Try a game, and that's all I gotta say. We're going to hit the outro. I don't know if you got anything left
Yeah.
to say before we wrap it up. If you want to say any last things or not before we wrap it up.
I think we hit everything and talked about both like the pros and cons on like both sides because there's three sides to every story, right? There's side A, side B, and then somewhere in the middle without all the bullshit and emotions is the reality. There's good
Yeah.
things that have been coming out from gaming over the past years, and then bad things. So it happens.
Yep. All right, then. Well, let's go ahead and hit the outro. Other than that, it has been your boy Drift and my co-host. I'll let him do his outro after this. Make sure you guys check the links in the description for all of our stuff. I have been going live playing Deadlock and other games on stream. Like he said, he has a video coming out. I'll let him explain more about that stuff. It's stuff coming to his channel. His link is also in the description. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, turn on bell notifications. Check out this episode, share it. Check out the last one. We will be back next Friday. We're continuing to do Friday uploads. Unless something changes, we will let you guys know. But for the most time, it'll be Friday episodes. If you guys are watching this and you guys are a content creator or streamer and you are like a small, it doesn't have to be small, whatever size you are, and you are interested in maybe being on the podcast, drop it in the comment below. We can try to plan something out. We are not afraid to have guests on here. Or if you guys want to interact with the conversation, also drop a paragraph or whatever you guys want to say in the comments, and we'll interact with it. We're not shy of interacting with you guys in the comments. So make sure you guys please like and subscribe. And I'm gonna go ahead and let my co-host do his outro, and then that'll be the end of the episode.
Yeah, just much love to y'all. Sub up, like all that good stuff. We're here. Just I mean, we've been yapping. I don't know how So y'all know this isn't like a serious thing. We're not trying to be, political or nothing. We're just two homies chopping it up. If it's your thing, then keep on supporting.
All right, I'll see y'all later. Peace.